Welcome back everyone to our Let's Play for Command Ops 2. So, up to episode 4 today, and as I mentioned at the end of the last episode, I've actually played through until daylight, so it's now 7 AM on day 3, so just got through the night. So a bunch of stuff happened through the night, nothing major, sort of no major battles or anything really. So I just run through sort of some movements and stuff and what's happened. So, starting down the bottom here, KG Kunkel has almost reached the village here, so they've actually moved through the night, which is good. They're fairly okay, 36% fatigue, so what I think I'm going to do, I'll let these guys rest in the village here for a couple of hours to get some of their fatigue down just a little bit. And I'm actually going to push the 1st Battalion here, actually out towards this vantage point, which I think is going to be very important for us. So I think I'll push these guys out along this track, across through the forest, and then up the road. I basically want to clear as much of this path through as I possibly can before I send KG Kunkel out. And then that means that they'll be able to get to this position, you know, ASAP and without encountering a huge amount of resistance. So that's what we're going to do there. I'll leave the 2nd Battalion here to guard both objectives, and they can just sort of stay there for a little while until these objectives expire. So down here we've taken the objective now at the bridge, which is brilliant. It took a while, but in the end the Allies actually started withdrawing their forces out this way and actually ended up getting caught in front of these units and taking a whole bunch of damage. So you can see those two little sort of outline boxes there. Those are the remnants of the units that were pulling back this way, so I imagine they've sort of retreated down this way somewhere. But that's good. So you've got this objective secured now, which is awesome. We've got the 1st Battalion, 77th Regiment pushing towards the bridge. What am I going to do? I'm actually going to leave these guys to actually guard this objective. Then I'm going to push out the 1st Battalion, 78th Regiment and the KG Von F force. I'm actually going to start pushing them out this way. I think what I'm going to do, I think I may use the 1st Battalion, 78th to sort of clear out some of these hills and some of these forests through here. Just make sure there's no sort of major forces coming in behind us. So I think they'll probably push up here, through this town here, and I think maybe follow this track up and sit on the edge of the forest here somewhere. But with this KG Von F force, I think I'm actually going to push them out this way. And they're going to end up hopefully taking up a position somewhere around here on these little hills, these ridge lines you can see. So either here or somewhere along this ridge line. And the reason I'm going to do that is that because combined with this one here and then somewhere this along here as well, we're going to have brilliant visibility of the highway, which will be really good. So I'll show you guys why I know that. So if you look at the line of sight, click on here somewhere. Alright, still nighttime. Okay, so I'll show you guys that in a minute once the daylight thing sort of kicks in properly. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do with those guys. Okay, so then once this area is sort of a little bit clear, I'm actually going to push out the 901st Regiment here and the 902nd Regiment here. I'm actually going to push them both out towards the highway and sort of I want to have them on the highway by the end of day 3. So another good thing that's happened is that because when we gave the 902nd Regiment here their move order, we gave the command of the 902nd the initiative, or it allowed him to have the initiative to launch his own attacks, which is why we ticked this little button here, this attacks button. What that's actually meant is because there was a whole bunch of allied units in this forest, you can see all these units here, they've actually launched the 902nd Regiment has actually launched their own attacks, completely on their own initiative. I had nothing to do with it. They actually launched all these own attacks through the night to actually clear this forested area out. They took some reasonable casualties in some of their units. You see, especially this one here has taken a lot of casualties. We took around maybe 50% casualties, a bit under that. Yeah, anyway, so they took a lot of casualties, but I think it's really been quite good because it means that we've now cleared out this forest and we've pushed out some of these units out here. There's a couple of destroyed units here as well, which happened through the night. We've got a couple of little tank platoons here. These are both actual single tank platoons, so I'm not bothered by these at all. These are actually the platoons that were attacking the village here, but we sort of pushed them out this way. It looks like they've come back around this way. So I'm not bothered by these at all. There's an engineer company sitting here. They should probably be able to deal with them, but if not, I mean, we'll just push down a couple of Panther companies right down here and they'll be toast. So that's going to be totally fine, which will be good. Alrighty, so where are we now? So we've got the 26th Division here. They've got basically no units attached to them though, so that's just sort of a bit of a placeholder there. So we'll push both these units out and we'll move the Panzer Lehr Division forward as well. Alrighty, so over here in the town. So it's been quite important what's happened here in the town. So if you remember the end of last episode, we had a company of Allied tanks sitting right here in the town. They were a bunch of Shermans. They started off with 14 tanks, I think, and we took them down to 10. And I sort of, during the night, for about 3 or 4 hours, actually let these two regiments Gutmann and Koschenhausen, actually sort of launched their own attacks, and they did some sort of sporadic attacks, but it wasn't really enough. And we ended up taking some decent casualties like this. For example, in this one, they've taken 26% casualties there, which is a fair bit, and there's another one up here, I think, which is, 22% there. So they've taken a reasonable amount of casualties, and so in them, what I actually did was actually ordered this battalion, 1st Battalion, 3rd Panzer Regiment, to actually attack down into the village. So I actually sent there two, you actually see here, these two tank platoon companies. So the 3rd company and the 2nd company, both Panther tanks. Sent them down into the village, and it was glorious. It was absolutely glorious. So it was a total of... we sent in 28 tanks, so there we go, why is that not showing up? Should sort of combine, anyway, it's not doing it. So, we sent in a total of 28 tanks, and we actually destroyed all 10 of their tanks. So you can see here, B Company, 2nd Tank Battalion, that was it, that was the company. We destroyed all 10 of their Sherman tanks and their HQ, which was Task Force Rose HQ there, you can see, surrendered. And then we destroyed the tank battalion. We destroyed both of those without a single loss of a tank from either company. You can see there, they both still got their 14 tanks. Haven't lost a man or a tank in either company. So that was absolutely brilliant. Loved it. Yeah, so Panther tanks. Love them, love them, love them, love them, love them. As you can see here, it says Panther's best all-round tank of the war, and it definitely proved it during the night. So that's been really good. So we've got the objective here. It's cleared out. This battalion up here has cleared out up to this ridge. They attacked up here. There's a couple of units they sort of fought off, nothing major. They're pretty exhausted now though. So you look here, they're actually running at 60% fatigue. So not massive, but it is sort of, fair bit. So what I've actually done is actually just leave these guys to rest. They'll probably stay there for most of the day, I think, and then we'll probably move them out tomorrow or during the night maybe. I think I'm going to leave probably one of these forces. I'm not really quite sure exactly which one yet. I'm thinking maybe Koschenhausen, because it's the smaller one. It's 1,000 men for that, whereas the regiment of KG Gutmann has 2,000. So we'll see. I'm thinking probably that's what we'll do. We'll leave one of these here to guard the objective. We'll move the other one out. And we've also started moving out KG Holtmeyer, which is the 1,854 men, 101 tanks. So another big formation. We're starting to move those guys out. And you see here the path we've planned for them. So we're going to move them out across the bridge, up this road, and then straight up this road to the highway. We've gone for max aggro, and we've allowed them to launch their own attacks. Basically, we want them to clear out this entire road and actually reach this highway. They'll have support from another regiment, probably, yeah, as we mentioned, KG Gutmann. I think we'll do that. This battalion here, 1st Battalion, 304th Panzer Grenadier Regiment, it is sort of a combination of infantry and a few motorised units, so it's not going to be quite as quick as the most of KG Holtmeyer. So they're currently detached. I'm a little bit undecided about whether we leave them undetached or not. See here, we actually destroyed a couple of units of allied units sort of late last night, or I should say actually 1725, so sort of late yesterday. We sort of destroyed a couple of units there, so I don't think there's a whole lot of units here, so I'm actually tempted to actually let these guys move out, because I think we've destroyed a lot of the force that was here, so I don't think they're going to cause us a whole lot of problems. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to reattach them to there, which means they should follow KG Holtmeyer routes, now up to 2472 men, so very decent force there, and another big regiment's going to move out as well. So end of today, what the goal is, hopefully end of the day, end of the episode, is to have 3 regiments, or actually probably 4 regiments on the highway here. Probably Holtmeyer, KG Gutmann, and then 901st and 902nd regiments actually placed on the highway here. Once that's done, I'm thinking we'll probably push one regiment towards Neville over here to clear out this area, and then we're going to push 3 regiments to attack Bastogne with support for a couple of extra battalions, which are going to be sort of placed on the hills around this way. I think we'll probably end up trying to get around the back of Bastogne to try and attack from the rear. So Bastogne's going to be our first big objective, basically, using all those regiments. Once that's done, I think we should be pretty much fine, because we've got exit objectives so close to Bastogne that we should be able to push through to there. I'd be highly surprised if we can't. Just depends where reinforcements come from. I'm not really quite sure. They could come from here, but there are also highway connections, at basically all different sides of the map. So they could come from the north, south, or the west. So we'll just have to keep an eye on that, and make sure we don't get slaughtered in our rear ranks or something. So I think we'll be okay, but anyway, that's what we'll do. Alrighty guys, so that's all the movements, and we'll get the game running as I take a drink. You see some of these these couple here retreating already. So we've just sporadic fighting a lot of the times now. This company Hero's battery has caused us quite a few problems. So I'm actually going to start bombarding them a little bit to try and deal some damage to them and get them to move. We've replaced a bunch of artillery, as you saw yesterday. Alrighty, so first platoon has surrendered, so one of those units has surrendered, the other one is retreating, so both of those are going to surrender fairly quickly. These guys are moving up here, I'm not really quite sure why, but whatever works. Yeah, because that's the 902nd, yep, that's fine, he's doing a bit of a reshuffle. Looks like he's cleared the area or something, he's doing a bit of a reshuffle. Anyway, it's up to him, it's his regiment, he's doing what he wants. Cool, so that's all good. So, yeah, we've got the 901st sitting there and the 902nd sitting there. 77th is coming down to the bridge. You see one of these units here, Mechanized Infantry Company, they were the ones that were near the bridge down here. We've managed to push off and see some of our units up here because they're on the high ground, they've got some good visibility. Alright, so it's daytime, so I can show you guys why I know that we're going to have good visibility. So if we jump into the tools, we'll use line of sight area here and we click up here. Where are we? Why is that not showing? Moderate fog, that would be why. Alright, so so that's actually something I hadn't considered. If the fog sticks around, that's going to be a problem. You can actually see our visibility is quite limited because we've only got visibility at 3,700 meters, so which is really not all that much. You can see this is the grid, so these are 1 by 1 square kilometer grid. So you can actually see 3.7 k's is probably basically the highway, which is where we can see here. So if that fog sticks around, these positions aren't going to be quite as useful. But I'm hopeful that they won't. We'll just have to see, I guess. But normally these positions would actually had visibility all out sort of to this direction. And the same with these ones out here. So these ones actually can't see a whole lot at the moment, really. Actually, that's a decent position there. It's quite close to the highway, though. Anyway, so the fog is a problem. We have to keep an eye on that. I hadn't considered that. So again, that's sort of showing you something. Oh, there's so much stuff you've got to consider. And you know, there you go. It was an example of the weather disrupting plans that we have. Anyway, that's fine. We shall deal with that. Alrighty, so KG Kunkul's basically here. So I'm going to start pushing out these guys and push them out this way. So we're going to set up movement orders. We're going to follow the river along here to make sure they don't have to cross the river. Come to here, come along to this road, and I actually push these guys up to here. I'm going to set them all the way up to there. Yeah, there we go, that's good. So I'm actually going to go for quickest to make sure they follow the route that I've set and they don't deviate. I mean, they should anyway because I've set out so many waypoints. If I sort of just clicked one waypoint, there would be a bit more sort of adjustment, but they should follow that, but I'm just going to make sure. Speed's going to be normal. I'm going to put attacks onto yes, max aggro, yes, minimum rest, and I think everything else is pretty much stock standard. They can choose the formation. So that'll be good, so we can push those guys out and start getting them moving while KG Kunkul just rests here for a while. You can take off attacks and normal aggro and just say these guys to defend this objective. There we go. Rather than launching attacks out this way, these guys can deal with that. Let's get you guys to sort of sit on this objective and reduce the footprint a bit. There we go. Actually, there we go. That's probably better. So they can sit there, they can defend. We'll go for normal one, and they may even switch it back to, actually there's units coming down here. Keep an eye on that. I think we should be fine though. I mean, there's 3 full battalions here, so we've got, you know, quite a bit of firepower there, so I don't think there's going to be any problems. Fog's still there, but we've got 5,000 meters visibility, so this should have changed a little bit now. So jump back into tools, line of sight. There we go. So you actually see sort of, even with like a fog, a moderate fog, you actually see the sort of visibility that we can actually get from some of these positions. You can see sort of all along the highway, and even some of these out to sort of towards Bastogne as well. So it's still not amazing visibility at the moment because of the fog, but you know, it's still fairly decent. So even like this one up here, so these couple of hills up here I think would be quite good to put our guys. You can see they get really good sort of visibility. A little bit patchy at the moment. I think that's probably the fog again. But even up here is quite good to get visibility up this way. So I think those are going to be the 2 positions. One up here somewhere, I'm not quite sure where there yet, but definitely sort of one here is going to be really quite good, especially if that fog goes away. Cool. Done. So that's all fine. The couple of units here pushing, I'm not worried about any of that though, they'll be able to deal with that. These guys are still pushing through the forest, which is really quite cool. Good to see. Continuing their attacks. I don't want them to get too worn out though. Third platoon. has surrendered, so these tiny 2 little tank platoons have both surrendered, which has been good. Don't have to worry about them. I think I'm actually going to reattach these guys to the 77th Regiment and just get, because the 78th Regiment's got a full battalion as well. Alright, that's cool. So you get you guys just to defend here. So we've got sort of 2 regiments, the 78th and 77th, with a battalion each, and then they've got some battalions split off down this way. So I'm going to reattach those just so we've got extra command capacity. Not that we really need it. You know, we've still got a fair bit there, but yeah, that's totally fine. I think I'm going to move my HQ forward because I know that command times, these delay times, are impacted by distance. So I'll just keep an eye on these to see if they do change the further away we advance. And if we do, we'll just move a bit forward. So it could be a good experiment for it. I've never actually double checked that before. Still some units through here that I'm not really worried about any of these. Holtmeyer's launching some attacks down this way because there's some units. I'm not too bothered by that. It's probably not 100% ideal, but it's probably better to clear out these units. I don't want to get too delayed though, because this is probably playing into the Allies' hands a little bit because it's good for them to delay us, you know, waiting for their reinforcements. So I don't want to let them delay us too long. So what I think I might actually do now is, now that KG Gutman's had a decent amount of rest, I'm going to set up a defensive order for here for KG Kuchenhausen. I'm going to go for all-round defense and just reduce their footprint down a bit to 1,000 meters. I'm going to say retake position, yes, and max aggro, yes. And so we're going to get them to defend that one, and then we're going to get KG Gutmann to actually basically follow the same path out as KG Holtmeyer. So we get them out to here, and we'll get them out this way. But then actually switch them over this way, follow this road up, and actually set them up there. So there'll be a little bit of a difference between the 2 regiments there. So we put them onto attacks as well, quickest route, max aggro, and minimum rest. So they're resting at the moment, but they should adjust that in a minute to the new orders. So 53 minutes an hour basically for them to get moved out, which is fine. Yeah, you can see KG Holtmeyer launching their own attacks down this way because we gave them the attack order. So I'm almost tempted to take it off so they get moving, and then we'll switch it back on once they get over this way. Because I don't really want to get them bogged down in this area. We can send some other units to deal with these units here. I think I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to re-change their orders and take attacks off. Actually go for bypass, because KG Gutmann should start moving out before KG Holtmeyer, so they should hopefully clear first, and then we'll get Holtmeyer out to actually bypass these units and see if that's a little bit better, get them moving. You see these units are actually attached to Holtmeyer there, so they're launching their attacks in. I think it is really such a cool feature to actually be able to do that and actually see like a regiment that you order actually have like it launch, you know, battalion-sized attacks on its own without, you know, its own initiative and setting up its own orders, following the terrain in certain ways, and like, you know, if you really watch it, it really makes some really smart decisions, and then makes some really stupid decisions, which I guess is really, you know, reflective of real life. Yes, it is really quite cool. You see these 2 tank battalions advancing forward, doing some absolute brutal damage. See all these guys, these units retreating before them. And see, they've actually sort of blocked them off. They're getting some down here and sending another attack down this way. Really very cool. Yeah, like we mentioned, there's some sporadic units here, some allied units. I'm actually going to start really pushing past them now. Like we mentioned, you don't want to get blocked at all. So I'm actually going to start moving up both of these units as well. So 77th, 1st Battalion 77th is almost here, so they can take over defensive duties there. And KG von F Force can take over, start moving out. Rightio. So, which way? So we're going to set these guys up over here, I think. So we need to get them to push out this way. So, which is the best way? I think he may be coming down this road and then pushing up, maybe even through this road. But I know there's a few units around here. I don't want them to get stuck there. But then coming across this way may be a little bit too time-consuming. Actually, no, we are going to go across this way. Follow these tracks around. I think that's probably the safer way. Plus, we'll probably get better visibility up here, which will in turn will give us better. Because I think we're going to have either the 901st or the 902nd actually coming through this area, so we can clear out some of this area here. Would be good. Alright, so that's good. So we're going to come out this way, get them to follow this track out, and then we'll probably come up this way, down this way, and we'll set them up Probably here. We'll start with here. See how this goes. And get them to face out this way. Actually, I'm just going to move this across to cover both sort of areas like that. There we go. Alrighty, so put the tax onto yes, max aggro. Actually, no, just normal aggro. Don't want to get them too sort of sidetracked. Rests minimum. Actually, I'm going to put them onto fastest. Given they're a motorized unit, going to be traveling across, you know, decent terrain. I think we're going to do that, so I think that should be good. First battalion here are decently rested, so just double check that. Yeah, so they're looking around about 31% fatigue, which is fine. I'm going to start moving these guys out sort of more through the forest. I think we're going to set them up either here or maybe even on the forest edge. Maybe actually here would probably be a decent spot. So we get a bit of an area over here. Actually, no, probably over here is better because then we can clear out sort of all through this area. Alright, that's what we're going to do. So we send these guys up through this way. So we sort of move orders. Probably just over here. So what are we going to do? Maybe we can sit them in this village. Maybe even at the edge of this forest. Edge of this forest will go. Well, they're sitting behind that ridge then, aren't they? So they're not really going to have a great visibility down this way, because we can double check that with the tools. So we set like here. Yeah, so they can't see past this ridge line. So you see that ridge there, they can't see past it obviously because they're on the other side of it. So I think we may actually set them up on this hill. They're going to be exposed, but we can always change that. You know, move them into cover if they're getting bombarded by artillery. Set them up sort of... Oops, go back to it. Yeah, set them up here somewhere. They should get some more visibility this way. We'll see how that goes anyway. So we go attacks, yes. Just normal aggro and everything else can be just normal, I think. See how that goes. Cool, cool. Done. Moving. Yeah, 90 seconds. See, 90 seconds launching their own attacks again to actually clear out this area. I'm actually almost tempted to take off their attacks order because they're getting a little bit, I think, yeah, just wear themselves out a bit early. I mean, it's good to clear out this area, these areas and stuff. I don't want them to get too exhausted though. Although it's probably better to clear out this area and then we don't have to worry about it later on. Oh yeah, that's cool. We'll just go with that. Alright, so you can see this infantry battalion's moving out, which is good to see. KG Kunkel is just chilling here over the objective, which is good. So you got both of these areas completely blocked off, which is awesome. And we'll start clearing out this area there, which will be nice as well. Good. So I think we're actually going to start moving the 901st down towards this area. Because then the quicker we do that, quicker we can actually get them pushed across the river, because it's almost 10 AM already. So I think it's probably going to take most of the day to actually reach the highway, so the quicker we start moving out, the quicker that we're going to get this done. So we can set these guys up, we're just on the edge here somewhere, on the road, there we go. If you heard those sort of clicks, those little Windows mouse click sounds, or error sounds, that's just because it's adjusting the location, because it's motorized, they can only stop in certain areas. So if you actually check that with a sort of a new feature in the game, these are sort of overlays. You can see like different, for example, friendly anti-personnel fire. So it shows you where we've got the strongest anti-personnel fire. So obviously, I think the red is, or the purple is the strongest or the most, and then sort of once it gets down to the blue and things like that, it's sort of the least. So you sort of see, that can sort of show you where you're really strong in your defensive fire, or whatever. But sort of really the most useful ones I found are these actually movement overlays. So this might lag a bit in the video, actually lags a little bit in game, but these actually sort of show you all through the map the best places that certain types of movement or units can move. So example, this is foot movement, this is foot units. These blue lines here, these blue ones you can see sort of dotted, these is where foot units can actually move the quickest, and then sort of green ones are the worst, and the green ones are usually forest because that's the slowest. And we're saying if we go to motor here, so you actually see forests here. These forest ones are actually impassable for motorized units. And you actually see, we click on the terrain pop up, it's got motorized 0, so they actually can't move through forest. So that's why it was adjusting the movement thing that we set up for them, just in case you were wondering. So we set it up there. We'll go minimum, probably just quickest, and we'll leave everything else. So we don't let them mount their own attacks. We just want them to get them down there so they're ready basically to go over the bridge and start moving out towards the highway. And we'll do that with the same thing with the 902nd a little bit later. We'll just leave them because they're doing some attacks and stuff. We'll let them do that. Probably a little bit more tired than the 901st, but I think it's really worth it to allow them to clear out some area that then we don't have to worry about later. Alright, here we go. You can see KG Gutman, the force. We've already got a battalion moving out here, which is good, and then the rest of KG Gutman is now moving up the highway, which is awesome. We're going to clear this area out. A few little units here. Airstrike being aborted due to poor visibility again, so we got no airstrikes basically over the last few days. an anti-tank gun platoon. It's only one gun though, so I'm not worried about that. These guys should be able to handle that fairly easily. Holtmeier's still moving. Looks like they're taking a bit of time to adjust after we change their orders. Because once you change certain parts of orders, so for example like the bypass and things like that, it does they do have to recalculate the orders. So did sort of waste a bit of time, but I think it's worth it to actually make sure they don't sort of just keep getting bogged down in this area. So I could imagine they would just sort of constantly get bogged down here until we've like completely cleared out this area, and I'd rather sort of get them moving. These units, where are you from? You're actually from, yeah, see, you're actually from, oh no, you're from Kochenhausen. Well, that's cool, that works out well. So Kochenhausen actually set up some perimeters on the other side of the river, which works out well. So these guys are firing on some enemy units. So that is all working out well. There's a unit here, little engineer company. I'm not too bothered about that. They're sort of, even though they are fairly, fair way behind our lines, that's totally okay. So not really finding the need to use a whole lot of artillery at the moment, which is probably a good thing, given that our supply is going to start decreasing from today. So maybe we can stockpile a little bit of artillery now and again just to see what we can have a bit more stockpile for when we actually assault Bastogne. We're probably going to need it, I think. I'm expecting this to be a bit of a brutal fight around Bastogne for some reason. I'm not really quite sure. It may not be. But given that it's a 20-point objective, I imagine it's going to be a very high point objective for the Allies as well, which means they're very likely to defend it quite heavily. So I'm thinking it's going to be quite a bit of a brutal fight. So that's fun. We have to move our artillery out at some stage as well. You can see we're sort of, by the end of the day, we'll be hitting our limits for most of these artillery. So we have to start moving them out forward as well. Probably towards the end of the day, I think will be the best time to do that, to make sure we've got constant artillery support. Especially these guys down here, because you see actually like KG Kungl and stuff, once they get out here, they're going to have like no artillery support, which could be a problem if they run into any trouble, but we'll see about that. Alrighty, so a bit of some units through here. I'm actually take the opportunity to hit some of these guys with some artillery, given there's a few sort of units grouped up. We'll just put some artillery just on the edge of that person's range. There we go. A bunch of artillery there, which should be fine. Yeah, it's all good. So 901st is starting to move out, as we can see here. 902nd is still launching its own little attacks to clear out the area, which is fine. 1st Battalion 78th, looks like they're sort of stuck getting some attacks through here by Task Force Harper. So that's okay though, we can deal with that. Looks like they should be fine to deal with this. And then we can see the KG von F force is moving out through the forest, which is good. So counted no resistance there, which is actually quite a good sign for us for later, for actually moving our 2 regiments through this area. If there's no sort of major enemy concentrations here, hopefully we can reach the highway fairly easily. Famous last words, guys, famous last words. So some units here, I'm not too bothered by these. They're not huge formations or anything. It looks like it's only a battalion at most. We've got 2 battalions here, plus we're fighting on the defensive, which is always an added bonus. So even though these looks like these guys, it says retreating, they've taken a fair few casualties. They are still firing quite heavily. I may actually give them a few rounds. Just pause the game. A few rounds. Just bring that back like that. A few rounds of artillery support, just to hopefully sort of break these units and get them to move on. And like that. There we go. So much for why I'm not using any artillery at the moment. Speech, but I think it's needed. So it says like, see that little circle in the unit counter, that sort of says usually is armoured formation. They actually don't have any armoured vehicles. You actually see they're taking casualties already. You see these numbers decreasing. There you go, 14. They actually lost 3 non-armoured fighting vehicles after that bombardment. So these guys are going to break very, very quickly. As you see, yeah, so they lost a whole lot of men and trucks and things like that. So these guys are going to go down fairly quickly, which is good. Cool, 901st, as I mentioned, is moving out, which is good. I think we should start moving the 902nd down as well to make sure they're in position. Holtmeier's not moving out quite as quickly as I would like. They're sort of still recalculating their orders. It looks like, so they're starting to move out now, yeah, so that's okay. So it did take them sort of an hour to recalculate, which was a bit of a wasted time, but that's okay. So I mean, it's only noon, and we're making some decent progress, which is really good to see. Haven't met a whole lot of resistance here, which is a bit surprising. I would have thought we would have done. Because this would actually be a perfect, if I was playing the Allies, I would really sort of defend this area. Because you actually see, if you could just line up through here, On the edge, you've got height advantages all through here, so you're looking down into the valley from all these positions, plus you've got forested positions as well, which means armor can't get through. So for example, armor's not really going to come up this way because you put units either side of here and they'll just absolutely decimate any armor coming up through this way. So you know basically where the advance is going to come from. It's going to come through these roads. So you could really sort of set up some real sort of ambushes through here. So if I was playing the Allies, that would be the perfect point to really sort of halt this advance. Can you see this is really, I mean there's a bridge there, so they could actually sort of bypass, come through this way, but given this is an objective, the attack is likely to come up this way. So anyway, it works for me. If they don't want to do that, it's totally good for me. KG Hotmire's move task is stored, so now they're bypassing. So you actually see what's happened there. They actually changed their route. Their route actually used to come down this road. Now they've actually changed it this way and actually come around and actually going around them. And you get a message for that as well, just to let us know that's what they've done, which is fine with me. That's why we changed the order for them, which is good. And start moving the Panzer-Lehr division to replace the position that was held by the 901st. Start moving all our units forward to make sure they're all sort of within decent range of each other. Make sure nothing gets stuck anywhere. Yep, that's all fine. Still some units here, but nothing too major. They're not launching a huge attack against us, so that's fine with me. Infantry battalion still moving. Fair bit of fatigue. I suppose they're it's a fair slog for them. So we'll see if they make it all the way here. They may not, but they may as well. KG Kunkel is down to 37% fatigue, so that's okay. I think we'll probably end up having to doing is leaving a unit of KG Kunkel in the town here, just to make sure we don't sort of jeopardize this battalion's position, because they're better off just to stay here while they are. Can you actually see they're dug in? So you actually get certain levels of entrenchment and fortifications. There was an airstrike somewhere. Where was the airstrike? I can't hear it. It's probably over here somewhere. You do get certain levels of entrenchment based on how long a unit is in in the same position. So I think it's, I can't remember exact days. But anyway, so you get like dug in and then you get entrenched after. I think entrenched is a couple of days and dug in maybe like 10 hours or something like that. So we might as well leave them there and they're in their defended positions, and we'll leave a unit of KG Kunkel there once we move these guys out here. So I'll probably actually do that quite soon because these guys are almost here. Just in case they run into any problems up here, they'll have an extra support. So we might as well do that. So what we're going to do is actually get KG Kunkel to move out along this way, basically to follow. Oops, there we go. Follow the road up that these guys have set up. We'll plant them there. Get them to face out towards the highway. There we go. I think we'll leave attacks off, but we'll go max aggro. So we don't really want them to get bogged down attacking these areas, but if they do sort of get into any engagements, we want them to be really quite aggressive. So what we're going to do, we're going to choose a unit here to leave behind. I'm not really quite sure which one. So we've got 3 sort of bicycle reconnaissance units. We've got a flak company, a sort of some half tracks and some infantry guns. Actually, probably maybe this one. I mean, it's the strongest unit we've got in the battalion. So it's a combat strength of 4, but that means it's probably a decent one to actually. It's got decent armored range and also anti-personnel. So we're gonna do that. We'll leave these guys behind. Yeah, probably on the hill here. So we leave them on the hill. They should have decent views around this way. So we should leave these guys to defend here, facing out sort of this way. We go max aggro for them so they engage units a long way away, and just everything else is fine. Cool, done. So there we go. Actually, there's this unit here as well, which I assume is KG Kunkel. Yeah, it is. Which is a rocket launchers. All right, cool. So the KG Von F has run into an assault gun platoon. Got a couple of armored fighting vehicles. Some tank destroyers, so I have to keep an eye on that, make sure they don't destroy our tanks here. You see, we actually lost a Panzer IV tank, so usually I think start with 14. Yes, so they've lost a Panzer IV. And then these guys actually lost one there, so they're actually retreating now. Alright, that's cool. Worked to me. So these guys should be in position really quite soon. So should the infantry battalion and KG Kunkel once they move out. These units down here are going to be fine. You can see the 78th, how far they've actually gone. So they've actually brought this infantry unit. This was a unit that was in this town. They actually brought them all the way around here, and they're actually coming back around behind to actually attack them from the rear. That is brilliant. I love it. So actually, the AI set that up all on its own. Actually, bring that attack all the way around the forest. They're actually going to hit them from the rear now. And you can see it actually firing into them from the rear. So these units definitely are going to be routed very, very quickly. 901st is moving in. Panzer should start moving up. We'll start moving the 902nd quite soon. KG Holtmeier is rerouted around this way, which is good, so they're moving. KG Gutmann's actually almost not too far away from the highway, which is quite good. They're going to start moving down this way now. Actually, a unit from KG Gutmann is already on the highway. There we are. You see it's a some half tracks and some units there, which is fine. Interesting. So Italian HQ there. Still some units in the forest here. They should use some artillery just on this unit here, just a couple of rounds. Because they are sitting, so we're taking some artillery hits there. Because they are sitting in the forest, they're going to take extra artillery damage. They were taking fire from this mortar. So we can do a little bit of counter battery fire and actually hit the artillery here. And one more. Okay, there we go. Artillery is brilliant to have when you've got it, and it's horrible when the enemy's got it. So both those units getting bombarded. Do some damage there. So if we look into our objectives, we've got to destroy the enemy up to 5 points out of 25. So we've done a fair bit of damage to the enemy, which has been good. It's 2 PM. So KG Holtmeier's been quite delayed, but they're starting to move out really quite quickly now, so that's good. They should get up there and across really quite quickly. I've got a base battalion, base for a battalion, or a battalion base, I should say, sitting there. That shouldn't be too much of a problem. These guys are almost here. They actually destroyed this assault gun platoon, which has been quite good. So these guys are pretty much in position, which is good to see. Is the fog still here? It's not. It's got a light fog, so that's cool. So we should be able to see if we jump into the tools. This line of sight now should be quite a bit better. Alright, so you see a fair bit further away than what we could here. There we go. You can actually see a fair bit of, I mean, it's patchy. If you sort of come down here a little bit better, probably get better visit. Yeah, so we get on the down slope. So if you're sort of sitting on the top here, you get a little bit more patchy, sort of closer to you. So if you actually sit on the down slope here, you get sort of more closer. You see, like along here, get a lot more visibility, like, you know, sort of down closer to you. So the same here, if we sort of sit in this down slope here, we get sort of view all the way along this highway. So you can see really here why I think this position is going to be very, very important. You can actually get visibility into Bastogne, but all along the highway and in front of it as well. So any units that are sort of in this entire area, we're really going to be able to see. You can actually see all these blocks here, these boxes here, probably allied units that were moving up. So there you go, that's an example about why that position I thought was important. So we saw these units here 2 hours ago. So I'm suspecting these may be even reinforcements potentially. Some units moving up this way as well. So maybe the reinforcements even arrived already. So I suspect they're probably moving up the highway this way. We have to keep an eye on that. So that was a couple of hours ago. So we'll keep an eye, maybe expect some units up here somewhere sometime soon. These guys run into some units over here. So we'll just keep an eye on how they're going. Make sure they don't get too much trouble. We may have to use some artillery if we got anything that can reach here. May have to use that to clear out this area. We do have KG Kunkel though, which is moving up here, which should be able to provide some support. Our 2 regiments are making really good progress up here, which is good. I think it's probably time to move the 901st out actually, to be honest. I think given that it's nearly 2:30 now, I probably want to get them moving. Alright, so we're going to move the 901st to here, then to here. Then I think probably set them up here in the village of Hammerville. Set them there. I'm actually going to set them to face down this way because they should have 2 regiments at their back. So they're probably going to be facing enemy units down this way. So we're going to do that. I think we're going to go for quickest route. Make sure they get there quickly. I think we're going to leave everything on its own. I don't really want them to get distracted having attacks. So I think we'll just do that and see it. So I mean, it's really generic movement, but we'll just see how that goes. Right, it's time to get the 902nd moving as well. We're just going to set them up on the other side of the road to get them across, and then we can move them out where we need them to. So we're just going to do that, and then quickest move down. See how that goes. A couple of infantry regiments and battalions here. I'm not really quite sure what to do with those guys yet. It's pretty quiet up here, so I'm thinking maybe we'll move, like the Panzer is going to be here. So we may move both of these regiments down here. Especially probably the 78th actually, given they've actually got a detached battalion sitting here. what we're actually going to do, we're actually going to set up a defend order here, facing out this way. And everything else can go. We've probably got max aggro. We're actually going to reattach these guys. So actually going to be reattached to here. So this the 78th Regiment's now got 2 full battalions with it. The 77th has got 1 with another one which is sort of moving out still, so that's fine. Task Force Harper has surrendered, which is was this unit here, so that's surrendered, which is good. How are we going up here? So these guys taking some casualties. I have to be careful about this. So we've got an engineer company. So do we have any artillery that can reach this far? I'm thinking probably not a whole lot. That one can just. Brilliant. So we'll set up. You haven't got much ammo though. No. Bugger. No. Alright, so we get one that can actually reach that far. Alright, so we can start moving our artillery up then. So we're going to move all these guys up. We're going to actually move these guys down to... I'm thinking probably over here is the best place for them. Maybe even down here though. So probably down here and const them. Set them up here. So we go minimum, fastest, quickest, and the same for all of these ones. Doesn't really matter where they sit as long as... Actually, these guys are firing. Alright, cancel that, and we'll let you guys fire over here while you can. There we go. Cool. Alright, so those are firing, those are moving. We'll move these guys. Move them forwards. We'll move you forward to here. And you as well. And you as well can come probably all the way up here. Cool. So we've got some artillery sitting here. Probably should move these guys forward as well. We may as well while we're here. I think I'll leave these guys for the moment, just until we know this area is clear. I don't want to get our artillery sort of all mangled unnecessarily. So the 9th Army Division, 9th Armoured Division, not Army, 9th Armoured Division base has been basically destroyed, so it's quite good for us. See some units here, so yeah, I reckon we're probably going to be ending up finding some units coming up here. These guys taking some artillery damage, you have to be careful of that. We'll have to move them back into the forest to make sure they... Well, actually the forest isn't going to be protection necessarily, but they'll be out of sight more. We'll keep an eye on those, see how they go. These guys are doing fine. That's okay. KG Kunkel is still moving. Which is all good. So they're moving and they're moving, which is good. Holtmeyer's, where's Holtmeyer? So Holtmeyer's across the river, which is good. And KG Goodman's pretty much all at their objective almost, so that's good as well. So it looks like a very strong unit here, which is an assault gun company, 20 armoured fighting vehicles, M36 tank destroyers. Alright, interesting. We have to be careful of that, because they are a lot of tank destroyers. They could do a bit of damage here. Just to keep an eye on this. May have to use some artillery if we've got anything that can reach here. So we have heavy batteries, if they can reach, or they can. Alright, so we're actually going to do that. Because heavy batteries can, as I mentioned before, hurt armour. They can't reach there. They can't, damn. They can't. Can any of these guys? You can, although you're not heavy. Or you are, I suppose, a heavy battery, aren't you? You can... Oh, are you moving? Oh, no, you're the one that we set up. Alright, that's cool. Actually, no, we can delete that and get you to move forward, because you're the one that we're attacking the engineer battalion over this way. Cool. Alright, there we go. So move some of those, get some of those guys firing there. Hitting some artillery here somewhere. Just okay. So these guys are moving actually, so we'll just keep an eye on that. They should still take some damage though. Oh no, so it's actually a just a normal tank battalion, which is okay. Alright, that's cool. We can deal with that. Tank destroyers obviously can be really quite dangerous to armoured forces, so I think we should be okay. It's a fairly strong unit, but we've got obviously a lot of forces coming through there, so that's fine. These guys are still all okay. No artillery at the moment. These guys are still going okay. Interesting. Alright, cool. So 901st is moving out, which is good. 1st Battalion, why have you stopped? I told you to move, didn't I? I did, right. Probably because you had so many attacks and stuff there. So what we're going to do is actually move you. Where are we going to move you? Where are we going to move you out here, weren't we? I think we're going to change my mind and put you in this town here. Brocktonback. Should go quickest, and everything else is fine. Facing out this way. I mean, we could reattach you to your regiment, bring your regiment down, but no, we'll leave that because we got the 78th moving out. They're moving down to the town, so that's okay. Move these guys out a little bit later. Alright, so how's our command thing, our delays? Alright, so it is. So look at that. So even though, I'm just going to pause the game, there we go. So even though our command load hasn't changed, the force delay has increased dramatically. I can only assume that's because of the distance. So what we're going to do now, this could cause a bit of problems because there's a whole bunch of linked units here. So any sort of units that are sort of still attached to the on-map boss here, or this HQ unit, could end up moving with it. But I think they're mostly just artillery, so that should be fine. Alright, so what we're going to do, actually get you to move, get our main boss to move to probably Hossingen is probably the best spot because we know it's very safe. Hasn't been any enemy units there for ages. We're just going to go fastest, quickest because it is motorized, so it should be able to move out fairly quickly. Could take our flak batteries with you. I mean, they're attached to the HQ unit, so if it wants to take it with them, they can do. I'm not really fussed, to be honest. I mean, they're anti-aircraft units, so they're not really going to be a whole lot of use to us. You see, they've got quite small ranges for everything, so that's fine. So I think it's probably more for flavour than anything else. Alright, yeah, so KG Gutman's at the highway, which is good. Holtmeyer's not too far away. Yeah, so KG Gutman's going down this way, and Holtmeyer's at the highway as well, and so is KG Gutman, so they're both at the highway, which is awesome. Good. Once this objective expires here at 6 PM, we're going to move this regiment out as well. Same with the couple of battalions and stuff down here. 901st is moving out, 902nd has started moving as well. A few sporadic allied units here and there, but I'm not worried about them. I'd rather keep pushing past them at this point. So a big priority is going to be down here, and I suspect from looking at some of these stuff here, reinforcements are already on the map. Some anyway, probably not the bulk of their reinforcements, but some at the very least. This battalion's having a bit of a struggle against this engineer unit here. So it's not moved. So do we have anything that can reach that now? These guys moved yet? So you're still out of range, damn. Alrighty, that's just, we have to wait, I think, unfortunately. You're just going to have to do it yourselves, guys. Should be using your own mortar platoon to get some fire support on here. Yeah, taking a fair bit of casualties, but perfectly honest, once these guys are done this, they're probably not really going to have a whole lot to do for the rest of the game, the scenario, so even if they do take a fair bit of casualties, I'm not too bothered by that. What I'm actually going to do, I'm not sure if changing this is going to do any good, because they're only going to move order at the moment. What I'm actually going to set up attack order here and just go max aggro, max rate of fire, fastest, minimum, artillery direct support only. So this may take quite a bit of time to sort of eventuate given the orders I've got to get here, but I'd rather them actually launch a proper attack rather than being this sort of piecemeal rubbish they're doing at the moment. So that's probably my fault for not having attacks left on. So they're not really launching attacks, they're still trying to move. So anyway, we'll see how that goes. KG Von F is set up really well, so you actually see all these frontline units facing out this way, which is good to see. Yeah, so they're set up really quite well. You actually see some of these units actually firing on the enemy already, which is good. KG Holtmeyer's move task is stalled and they're waiting. I don't want you to wait, I want you to move. So I've got this tank company here, but they've lost a fair few tanks already, so I'm not too worried about them. These guys keep moving. Move, guys, move. Come on, guys, keep going. Alright, I'm actually going to switch these to fastest and no rest. When are these guys moving? Because it's 5:05, 5:30 p.m. and they're not quite at the highway. We're not set up on the highway yet. They've got some units on the highway, but not fully. So you actually see that's got them moving now, which is good. So I just have to remember to switch their rest orders back to like normal rest once we actually get there. Otherwise they won't get any rest through the night, so that's fine. Units moving up through here, which is fine. I'm thinking probably 901st will get there sometime, maybe around midnight by the time they actually get there. 902nd's not going to get there until tomorrow, but I think that's okay. We're going to have three full regiments on the highway by tomorrow morning, which means we'll be able to start moving down, and then 902nd is probably going to be our reserve regiment, plus Koschenhausen is going to be another reserve regiment as well. So I think we're doing okay at the moment. I think things are going pretty well. Going to move the 2nd Panzer Division forward. Going to set them up on this thing here, on this town. Just in case there's some units here, they should be able to deal with those. You've got some attached support units there, so that's fine. Just going to set them up fastest, quickest as well, just get them moving. Alright, see how on-map boss is moving, which is good. Some of its attached units are moving as well. Actually, the flak units are, the anti-aircraft units are moving with it, we can see here, which is fine. Bit of protection for us, that's fine. So they're moving, so that should slowly start, yeah, so you slowly start reducing the force delay. It's down to 74 minutes already. It was up to 90 something, wasn't it? So, KG Holtmeyer's move task is stalled again, although they're basically, you're basically there, aren't you? Still got some units here to go. Gutmann's not moving either. Come on, dude, let's go. Move, move, move. They're sort of just waiting. They're launching attacks, aren't they? Alright, I'm going to take those off. I'm going to take attacks off for Gutmann because it looks like they're stalled trying to launch attacks over this way against like a single tank company, which is not what we really want. We want you in position over here. So a battalion of the 901st is already on the highway, which is brilliant. They actually got there very, very quickly. A lot of the rest of their regiment is still actually behind, so we've got a full battalion here, which is really quite good. Good to see. And they're taking up defensive positions there, which is nice. These guys look like they've organised, yep, so they've organised for their attack. They're actually launching their attack now, this battalion. 1st Battalion, 39 Fusiliers Regiment, so they're launching their attack now, which is good. So should be a more coordinated assault than the little piecemeal stuff they had before. KG Kunkel's been quite slow. Fairly fatigued, but yeah, they're getting there. I suppose they are moving across just tracks, aren't they? They're not really moving across roads and stuff, which is probably why they're quite slow there. But I mean, it's okay. I'm not too bothered by that. All right, so we've got some artillery up here now, which is good. So we do have to sort of we only got one, which is still eligible here. So maybe we actually move some of these other ones forward too as well during the night. That's actually probably a good idea because they're still fairly out of range of most of our units. Yeah, we're going to do that. So which is the really long range run? That one. Alright, so that one. So we're going to leave that one there and move the rest of you out. I'm going to set you up on this hill here. So we're going to move you fastest, quickest, minimum rest. Because we haven't got a huge demand for artillery at the moment, so it's probably a good opportunity to do it while we don't really need their fire support. So you might as well just move all of them while we're here. Alright, move you guys out. Cool, right, there's that done. So these ones move forward as well. You probably just keep moving them forward as well, but they're okay at the moment. They do cover these sort of regiments. Just fine, 26 Division sitting there. You're attached to there. Alright, we'll move you out as well. Move you forward to here. Can be sometimes quite a bit confusing keeping track of all your artillery units. This one's getting caught up with a HQ unit, but that's fine. Especially when you control all of them like I am at the moment. But I think it's... Or hopefully you guys have seen like the benefit you can have from you know, controlling these units yourself. Alright, so we actually dislodged this unit, which is good. So it's not retreating, it says it's moving. But we have actually dislodged it, even though a couple of our units have taken more casualties. We have actually dislodged it from this... this village, or the edge of the trees here by the looks of it, so that's probably quite a good thing. Actually quite like the position of these guys here. I think this is going to be quite a good position for us. Just get a bit of an overview of what's happening. Kunkel's moving slowly. These guys have all stalled, so Holtmeyer's there, but Gutmann's... I suppose we change their orders. They're taking time to reprocess. It looks like they're moving, yeah, so they're starting to move again, so that's just a bit slow. 901st has gotten a bit bogged up with this couple of units in this area, but they are moving. 1st Battalion, 77th Regiment is moving as well, which is fine. 902nd sort of basically over the river, most of them. So a few units behind here, which are a bit lagging behind, which is okay. Alrighty, I'm going to leave these guys here just because there's a few units sort of in the area still. It's only one battalion, so I think we'll probably just leave you there for the moment, and then we'll move you out a bit later. Right, so these two bridge objectives have now expired, which is good. So we jump into here. Here we go, the Clairvaux Bridge and the Droffel. They've both finished. So we got sort of basically, it looks like sort of 2/3 of the points, which is not bad, I guess. Out of 8, so we got 2.5, 1.6 there. So that's not bad. 4.1 points out of 8, so a little bit over half there, and 2.5, 1.1. Yes, it's only 3.6 there, so a bit under half. So it looks only about half of the points, just because that was the occupation. Probably took a little bit too long to actually take these objectives. Anyway, that's fine. That's all good. We got some points there, which is good. We've got these ones here. Oh, this battalion is still here. This little engineer company. God, they're causing problems. Do we have any artillery that can hit them? Because they're being an absolute pain to me. To me. Do we have anything that can hit them? Not really. These two guys can't reach them. These ones are all moving. You definitely can't. And these guys can't. Alrighty. Fortunately, you're just gonna have to do it yourself, guys. No, don't do that. Yeah, taking a lot of casualties here, haven't we? Although this unit's in there now. So we should be able to overrun them. They are being very persistent, aren't they? Alright, so their attack is stalled. Which is not surprising, unfortunately. Why are you attacking? You're in reserve. You're a rear guard. Alright, fair enough. So you're starting to move now, though. These guys are engaged, which is quite good. Oh, they've got their little panzer tanks, tank destroyers. I mean, they're tank destroyers, but they got fair decent range and weapons, don't they? So actually, what weapon does it have? It's got a 7.92mm machine gun, MG42, and then a main tank gun. Right, so there are some machine guns there. So should be doing some damage to this unit. See our artillery moving forward, which is good to see. This one's taking a bit of a weird route. It may run into some units here. See, it's strange, isn't it? They're all in the same position, but they've taken different routes to the objective, which is really quite odd. Alright, that's interesting. I suspect they're going to run into units. May have to change their route to avoidance. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on them, see how they go. Alright, so they move. Alright, so finally, there we go. They finally retreated after the tank destroyers here actually got into the action, and they were enough to tip the balance of power. So that's good. So if I finally got these guys in position, we've cleared out most of this area by the looks of it. They should keep retreating now. We've got that. We've got the high ground now as well. So it's 15 meters difference from there to there. So we've got the high ground all around this area. So we should be fine. Rest of KG Kunkel is resting. Yeah, they're all rested, so they're a bit tuckered out. But it's fine. We've got a battalion and a half sitting on that ridge there now. So that's good. So we've pretty much, I mean, the end of the day, it's 8:45 now. Game time, I should say. Well, that's actually, it's 10 to 9 real time. That's funny. Yeah, so at the end of the day, we've basically accomplished my objectives. Probably the only one that's failed a little bit is the 901st. I mean, we've got a battalion there, but not the full 901st. Well, I think they'll probably still be there by around about midnight. So we've got both of these Overwatch objectives, which is I wanted. We've got Holdmeyer and Gutmann on the highway, which is a good thing. We've got the 901st will be there. We've got all these Overwatch positions that I mentioned. Holding all these objectives, we've cleared all these areas out, so I think everything's going really well. So now that I've said that, tomorrow's going to be an absolute nightmare for some reason. We just get like overwhelmed by reinforcements or something, I don't know. Anyway, so I'm going to curse myself. Yeah, so the 901st has been held up here a little bit by some of these units. I don't want to change their settings. They don't have attacks on, do they? No, they don't. So that's why they sort of still keep pushing through, but I don't want to change their orders because that means that the whole column is going to stop while they readjust their orders. Although, I mean, they are still firing, aren't they? They're still attacking them. It's just taking a bit longer. 902nd is here. I'm actually going to start pushing out the 902nd now. I think they're fairly well rested. So I'm going to push the 902nd out. I'm actually going to set the 902nd up here, I think, up on this ridge. Something a little bit different just up here. We don't really need them on the highway. And we can just claim the high ground off here. And there we go, that should be good. I think I'll leave everything out. I think I might leave attacks on so they can clear units out. Because I don't think these guys are going to be 100% as vital as these other 3 regiments. So they're probably going to be our reserve regiment, which we'll leave up here for a little while, and then we can bring them into the action. Because I mean, they've got good access to the highway, so they'll be able to move down really quickly once we actually get there. Cool, cool. Alrighty, that's all done. So KG Cool can just go to normal rest, and same with these guys. Oh, they're normal already. Normal rest there. There we go. Cool, cool. These guys are in position. 1st Battalion, 77th Regiment are now in position, which is good. So that's pleasing. Yeah, so these guys have run into some problems here. It looks like they're fighting though. So they're doing pretty well actually. I suppose they do have like MG. We got 9 MG42s, 250 rifles, 24 MP40s, plus their actual guns. So they're actually really quite a strong unit. So might actually leave them. They might even be able to win some fights through there. So there we go. Our artillery is almost in place. It looks like they're resting now. We've got a couple of units here and there which are in place, which is good. So I've now got artillery support all over this area. That unit's come back. That little engineer unit. Doing some damage again, so maybe we can hit them. So what this is, we can use this unit. Hopefully they've got ammo. Where are we? Which unit is it? This one. They do have some ammo. Awesome. So I'm going to start using this guy just to clear this guy out here. Artillery, avoid friendlies off and increase the duration. See if that helps. Not sure what this guy's doing, he's going back and forth a bit randomly. Oh, looks like resting now. Oh, that's cool. Anyway, I mean, even if it takes a bit of time, there's no objective here, so there's no real great rush. I mean, we're going to take these heights eventually. We're going to clear these units out. It's going to may take a little bit more time, so hopefully that bombardment has helped a little bit. This guy's still fighting here. 901st is moving. Looks like the 902nd starting to move. Yep, 902nd starting to move, which is good, so it'll be good to get them out and done. Those guys have moved forward, which is awesome. Our on-map boss is resting, which is fine. Yeah, so command, yeah, it says 73, so it's down still, which is good. All these artillery units are resting, which is fine. So yeah, definitely going to move those guys out, I think. Probably end up moving them out. Maybe over to here somewhere. Maybe even up here, we'll see. So there's a tank battalion coming down this way. I'm not too worried by this, though. Do have a flak battalion there and a couple of other units there, so that should be totally fine. The whole stack of units here anyway, so I'm not bothered by that. KG Goodman is fully in position, which is awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. 901st looks like it's probably resting now. Yep, resting, right, that's cool. I can deal with that. So they are on minimum rest, so they won't rest the whole night, which is fine. I'll just rest the minimum, obviously, as it suggests. Cool, cool. So everything's sort of died down a bit now, guys. So I think what I'd do is probably end the episode here. We're running at, what, 63, nearly 64 minutes anyway, so it's probably a good point to do so. Yeah, we come back tomorrow. We've got day 4, day 5, and then most of day 6 up until 6:30 PM. So I've got another 2 3/4 days to go. So I think hopefully that's going to be enough. Just still a little bit worried about what kind of reinforcements we're going to get from the allies around Bastogne. I really want to push towards Bastogne tomorrow. Basically, I want to... It seems really ambitious given we're only on day 4 tomorrow, but I'd actually really like to be sort of basically around the outskirts of Bastogne by tomorrow. Would be brilliant, would be really ideal. Because then the day after that, we can actually start pushing for Bastogne and the exit objectives, and then we can, even if we get enough time, we're on day 6, we can actually take these 2 objectives. Because I think, do they have completion ones, or are they just occupation? Oh, there's a half and half. So that one's only got 2.5 out of 10, whereas Noville's got 5 and 5. And obviously Bastogne's only a completion objective, so that's fine. Cool. Alrighty guys, I think what I'll do the same as I did yesterday, given that it's night time and most of our units have stopped at the moment. I'll play through until the early hours of tomorrow or day 4, around 7 AM or something, and then we'll pick up the episode there. And that should be a good place to do that. Alrighty guys, going to end the episode here. Hope you enjoyed it, hope you enjoy the game, hope you enjoy the series. Let me know feedback, thoughts, suggestions, all that kind of stuff would be really good. Alrighty, hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all for the next episode.